Sam,
Yo,
we're back.
we are back.
The promoter
And
and the pro.
Pro, yeah. I really like it.
Yeah. Everyone seems to think that it's an all right name.
It mixes
so this
together.
is episode 2.
Yes.
So we had like 15,000 views.
Wow.
No, we didn't.
Oh. You just built me right up there.
But we had enough views that we'll do a second episode.
Cool.
And we've got a bunch of questions from people.
10%
So
of
that'll
15?
be like 10 episodes because pretty much each question is an episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just so that they're long enough that people will watch it without being like, nah, it's too long, screw this shit.
That's right. So we've come up with, before we start, if this is your first time watching, my name is Kim Tanska. I am the promoter of the ICN in South Australia. And this here is Sam.
Yep, Sam Mussared. I compete in bodybuilding.
Hence the pro.
Yeah.
Pro bodybuilder and a coach extraordinaire.
Oh, yeah, we do all right.
Okay, so what we'll do is we thought after the first episode, which went a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
But people liked it and we got some good feedback on it. So we'll just pick a topic each time, talk for about 15, 20 minutes. I'll answer a couple of ICN related questions, which you always get.
I think it's good because then I can give the competitor aspect of it and
Yeah.
you're the promoter aspect.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what are we going to talk about today? How to find a coach,
Yes. Well,
which is what a question I get all the time.
how to find a good coach.
A good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because there's a coach, then there's a good coach.
that's right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the best tips that you can give to anyone who's looking to compete for the first time, to find a coach and what to look for in a coach, basically?
Number one would be experience. Like, what experience have they got as a coach? And that could be like, how many clients have they had? Have they competed themselves? Like, how long have they been in the industry to get to know, more an actual battle? Like, what do they need to look like, etc.
Yep.
So, like, if someone's like, oh, I've never coached anyone before, but I'm a PT and I can help you. It's like, probably not. I wouldn't go with that person because they haven't done it and there's no experience.
That's right. And look, every show, every season, we get people who've won one competition and then they become a coach. Now, but a coach does have to start somewhere. And I've always felt that if you are an aspiring coach, well, I think you need to do this for free for a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I did that.
Yeah.
When I first started.
That's right. And I've known a few other people who've done that they've just helped a friend or someone to get ready for a comp and they haven't charged them nothing. And then they've gone on, like yourself, to become a full-time coach, pretty much.
Well, hold on. When you first started competing in bodybuilding, did you have a coach?
No, there was no coaches.
There wasn't any?
No. So my first competition was in 1987.
I wasn't even born.
No, so there was no internet. We relied on bodybuilding magazines. And you talked to the guys at the gym who gave you advice. So technically they coached you, but but there was no such profession as bodybuilding coaching. Well, I pretty much did everything myself, researched into it. Like we had bodybuilding magazines, so I looked in there. They used to have comp diets in there and I just followed one of those. Wow. And then I asked a couple of competitors at the gym.
Far out.
That was it.
Well, I was the same. So like 2010 was my first year and I didn't have a coach to begin with. Me and my friend, we were just training in the gym and someone saw us getting leaner and he was like, you guys should consider competing.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, we'll give it a try. And then from going to posing classes, we met more people. The first time I competed, I sucked. Didn't do very good. Didn't have a coach. So then the next year, I still did it all by myself. But right near the end, the last couple of weeks, I had, I don't think he coaches anymore, Trevor Leadbeater.
He does coach. I think he just coaches his wife who won a pro card.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Just recently.
Well, he reached out to me and helped me from the state show to the nationals, which was like about 3 more weeks. And
I can remember when you were coached by Trevor. So that was your first coach.
That was my first ever like proper coach.
Yep.
And then after that, I've only had one other coach after that. Since then, I've just been doing it myself.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
so you pretty much just applied those principles that these two guys...
Yeah. And the funny thing is it's the same principle regardless of who you get coached by.
That's
right.
It
should be, which is a calorie deficit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. So experience would be really the number one.
Oh, totally.
And I tend to agree. You want to go with someone who's done it done for a while.
Yeah.
And has got the experience of putting competitors regularly on stage and getting results, I imagine, as well.
Yes. I would then also, we wrote it down. So like previous clients. So if you could find a previous, like if you're looking for this particular coach, ask their previous clients.
Yep.
How was their experience with that coach? What did they enjoy? You know, were the good things from it? Even ask them if there was any bad things from it. You know, like get some feedback. And the easiest way to do that is obviously on socials. You just click on the person because all coaches will share their client stuff.
Yep.
Ask the client that, you know, that's sharing stuff like, hey, how did you get onto this person, you know, et cetera, and go from there on that one.
Yep. The other thing I always tell people too is once you've found a couple of coaches, go see them in person.
Yeah.
And just have a chat with them because in the end, it doesn't cost nothing to have a chat with you, does it?
No, it's free. Consults are always free.
That's right. And in the end, sometimes it can be a personality thing as well. You click with someone.
Yeah.
You know, and you mightn't click with someone else. And that's not a bad thing. That's just everyone's individual personality.
Yeah, I've turned some
people down. And I always tell people that, go to a couple of coaches and the one that you feel comfortable with, well, then that's the person to go with.
Yes, because it should be the same.
That's right.
Calorie deficit. Yeah, right.
Exactly right. Well, quickly, just talking about that, have you had any people that you've gone, no, mate, we can't work together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people that like they overthink the whole process. Like there's some magic thing and they're waiting for me to give them some kind of magical answer. And I'm like, nah, man, like this is literally what you need to do. And they're like, nah, there's got to be something more to this.
That's right.
I'm like, no. Like it's so simple, and I don't know why people make it so complicated. It's like if, let's say you're at 15% body fat and our goal is to get to 5 and we've got X amount of weeks. So I use a skin fold caliper system and I'll go, all right, you need to lose 10% within, let's say 20 weeks time that we've got. You need to be losing, 0.4% or whatever it is a week. And if you're hitting that target, I'm going to go, cool, keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to change anything.
Yep.
But then if there is something that isn't right, then we just need to create more of a deficit, whether it be that you burn more calories through moving more or we make it that you consume a little bit less. But it's then on the client because it's like you're hitting the target that's required. Cool, keep doing it. You're not, we need to take it this.
Yep.
Then keep doing it.
That's right.
So it's really not complicated. I don't want people make it like some magic voodoo shit that needs to happen.
That's right. Anything else you had on that?
Costs. Like every coach is going to have a different requirement of costing, and then like what do you actually get with your coaching? So like some will provide training, some do. Shit, I think I even know one coach that actually makes the food for their clients.
Yes, so do
but
I.
You
I
then,
think we're the same.
But then I mean, obviously you're paying heaps more for it because then you're not doing anything. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Transformations.
Yeah.
So like looking up previous transformations, like what did that client look like at the start to there at the end? Because a lot of, like there's some people when they compete, like regardless of who they go with, they're always going to be amazing. Some people just have like a natural talent for competing.
Yeah.
And so then I wouldn't go with those. I wouldn't trust that transformation as much as someone that, looks not like they're in shape and then they've gotten into great shape. They're the ones that I'd be like, well, what did you do and who did you see kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if someone already looked good and then the next pictures, they already still look great, then did they really need to do much? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
right.
it.
Yeah. While you say it's simple, but you still need that guidance and adherence.
Well, I have my wife. She's my go-to. So like if I'm not, like near the end, you start getting in your own head like, oh, is this enough? Am I doing it right? She keeps me in line. She's like, you're doing fine. Slow down.
Yeah. Don't
overcomplicate it. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, it gets in my head a bit.
That's right. And that's, I have had people tell me, and I used to think that too, oh, this guy's a coach. Why does he have a coach when they get ready for a comp? But you're right. Everyone needs just that little bit of
that assurance,
that reassurance. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all you need. Just like a person to like talk back to make sure that it's working.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's why I love skin folds.
Yeah.
Because like you can't lie with them. So I don't do a lot of online coaching because it sucks. Because looking at a picture of someone, you'd be like, oh, look, a week-to-week picture's like, nothing's going to change. Not in a week.
No.
But skin folds, we might be able to see a few millimeters here and a few millimeters here. And I'll go, cool, we know that things are working. Because a lot of people just use the scales.
Yep.
Scales are shit. They're just going to tell you a combination of muscle, fat, water, everything combined. And then if you're relying upon that and you're not seeing it change, you're going to be like, well, this isn't working. I need to do something different. And like, You might need to, but there could be still some body composition changes of maybe you are building lean mass and you are dropping fat, so hence your weight staying the same.
Yep.
And then you don't need to do anything different.
Yep.
And that's why I like the pinches.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that sort of answered my next question I was going to ask you regarding that online coaching is a big thing now.
It's
like
huge.
It's a huge industry. But you prefer face-to-face. And I see that here. You work here at the gym and you're constantly every day you've got on face-to-face meetings with people.
I can't do online. It just like I can't build rapport because it's like you're messaging.
Yeah.
So like where's the connection that you can have with someone and being able to help them not just through like the competing side of thing, but it's the psychological side of competing or getting into better shape. Like you can't convey that through a message. Like,
No.
Good picture, do the same, see you and chat in a week.
That's right.
Pay me money.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've had one online coach that did that. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm not doing this anymore. And they got a bit angry at me when I cancelled. But I'm like, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You look at a picture of me and just give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
I want this. I want value.
I agree. I'm the same. When I did my last bit of coaching, competing, I had a coach and there's no way I would have gone online. I think you need that face-to-face rapport.
There's enough good coaches in every state that you don't need to go looking at another state or overseas. You know, there's, again, that's nothing special that you're going to get that's different.
That amazes me. Like I've had competitors in our show and I always ask them out of curiosity who your coach is. And there's people who have had overseas coaches.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
calorie deficit.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, they got a fancy app that you can write down what you're doing.
Yeah.
Cool. How about get a book? Write it with pen and paper. So
That's right.
Even that, like I don't have an app because you know how distracting these bloody things are? Because all of a sudden you're like, now I need to write back to this person. And then you're like, oh shit, I've rested 5 minutes in between my set because I got distracted by scrolling or something else.
Yeah.
Whereas a book, well, you can't mess that up.
Yeah.
You know, be in the moment, real. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it at that at calorie deficit.
Calorie deficit.
All right. Before we go, I'll answer one ICN question that I've had a lot of lately. And not just from competitors, but I've even had these from a coach, Jake. And that is that when will the wellness girls get a sword?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the end, wellness isn't a pro category. So I give swords to the pro categories.
Yes.
So the ICN has 8 pro categories: bodybuilding, figure, sports model, fitness model, etc. Mm-hmm. So those overall winners in those categories get the sword. Mm-hmm. And until ICN decides to make wellness a pro category, there won't be a sword, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is...
Well, it took ages for classic physique to become a pro.
Yeah, it took ages for classic. It took a few years. And wellness is still very much in its infancy. But we find that in ICN at the moment that it is not growing. So the onus is on the girls to compete in wellness.
Yeah, it's fair.
If we continue to get... Like last season... I had 2 wellness competitors. Yeah. And the second one was only there because I told her, why don't you do wellness? Because there's only one girl in it. Yeah. So I had to talk someone into doing wellness. Yeah. So and
saying that season A was a smaller show.
It was a smaller show. But even at the state show, we only had like 5 or 6. Yeah. So I think there has to be more consistency for ICN to consider that wellness will become a pro division.
You know what? I when I got my classic physique pro card, and then going to it takes years for the build up an amount of people competing in that anyway to make it competitive. Yeah. So it's still in its infancy as an amateur part. Once it does eventually maybe become a pro line division, it'll still take then a couple of years even that to build that up. Yeah. Where then every time you go to a national event that you're like, all right, there's numbers of people competing.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking about the pros, there's going to be a big announcement about ICN pros.
Oh, is it?
And we'll talk about that most probably next with you.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So we're constantly trying to evolve the pro divisions. The main issue we have, and this could actually be another episode, but I'll quickly just talk on it, is that we've got so many ICN pros.
How many?
And so little that don't compete. There's literally hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yeah. But maybe 3% of them compete.
Yeah,
it's so low. And it's like, but this isn't. It's not just with ICN. It's with every.
Oh yeah.
Pro cards is more of a status symbol. I think
it can be a burden
rather than I'm going to keep continuing as a pro. No, I can now change my social media to ICN Pro.
Yeah.
But we've got some changes coming that hopefully will evolve this into something even better.
Yeah, because look again, like I think we touched on it last time. Like, there's no point compete. It's hard to compete in a comp when you go there and there isn't many competitors.
That's right.
So even as a pro, then there's more expectation, and you get to that event, and if it doesn't have a good lineup, like a meaty in it, it's just kind of not that it diminishes your. It just makes it not as satisfactory.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we'll wrap it up. That's it. Episode 2.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So if you've got any questions that you'd like us covered, just send them through to either me or Sam. Send coaching questions maybe to Sam.
Yep.
Send ICN comp questions to me. So through our respective social media pages, your Sammy.
Oh, Sam Wisest. One.
Yeah, but if you look up Sam Mussared, you come up.
You'll find it.
And same with ICN_SA. So we'll endeavour to answer every week a question or turn it into a topic that we can then discuss it a little bit more in depth.
Wicked.
That's it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Bye.